Welcome to a new semester of learning Torah, and especially the Torah of the Sod. Tonight we're going to begin our study on the legends of the Masters, stories of their lives. We're going to get an inside look at who these great people were, why we dedicate our lives to their books and their practices and teachings, how they change us. I've chosen Rabbi Shimon because he's really the consummate Kabbalist and the real breakthrough rabbi who changed the world. He was only 22 when he stood up in front of the great rabbis of Yavne in the Sanhedrin in exile. And they said the Torah was going to be forgotten in Israel. Rabbi Shimon stood up and said, 22-year-old in front of a bunch of elderly rabbis, Lo yishakach haTorah mitzvah, ki mitzvah zug yifkom min gelut berachamim. They're not going to forget Israel. Israel's not going to forget the Torah. And from this book, Chai Chibura, the Zohar, they're going to be redeemed from exile with mercy, with love. So that's a tremendous promise to make to the great Sanhedrin at the time, but it really became a promise for all Am Yisrael for thousands of years. So anybody who merited to be in Lag Bomer last week saw that evidence of Rabbi Shimon's popularity and his greatness, and the fact that hundreds of thousands of Jews come to celebrate his Hilullah, and Jews from all walks of life and all levels of observance. And it's just an amazing event. It's like the festival. It's like the Aliyah Dorega without the Beit HaMikdash, really. And thank God, my family and I, we merited to be there. And Rashbi, even though he's a legendary figure, we have a lot of record about him in the Zohar, and we have a piece about his birth. So we're going to begin with a story about how Rabbi Shimon was born. And this sets the stage for what's going to come further. So Atan Eloki Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai nolad b'chamisha shana la'achar Churban Beit HaShvayit Sheni. Rabbi Shimon, the Holy Tana, was born 50 years after the destruction of the Second Temple, which is about 120, what we would say in the Common Era. V'yom lidato eno yadua, mikol makom yesh omrim, shegam nolad b'yom Lag Bo. His definite birthday is not known, but there are those that say he was born on Lag Bomer, and of course we know he died on Lag Bomer. V'yesh omrim sheyom lidato hayom Chag HaShavuot. And other rabbis say that he was born on Shavuot. The Yom Bo Nitna HaTorah La'am Yisrael, of course, which is the Yom of the gift of the Torah. So certainly there's a parallel between Rabbi Shimon giving us the Zohar, giving us the Pnimiyut and the Sodot of the Torah. His birth on Shavuot would be highly important. The Yom Bo Nitna Torah La'am Yisrael Al-Biratul Shesupar B'Sefer Nachalat Avot. In this book, Sefer Nachalat Avot, is written about his birth. Shematza Ketuv B'Sfarim Aviv Yochai Haya Mishevet Yehuda. The father of Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yochai, was from the tribe of Yehuda. Wayad Migdolei Ador, he was one of the great ones of the generation. Vashir Nechbad B'Karov Malchut. He was wealthy and honored and close to the kingship. V'chim B'Yiterem Nodat Lo B'Beit HaKesar. Well received and appreciated even in the house of the Caesar. Andriagonos, Shachuk Atzamot. That's a reference to something unpleasant has to do with the Caesar. The Ishto Yochai Hayas Shema Sarah. Yochai's wife's name was Sarah. Nizera Nesi'im, and she was from the family of princes the leaders of the Sanhedrin. And she was also from the family of Hillel Zaken, which of course they were the princes who traced themselves all the way back to King David. Alav Shalom. And Sarah Akara Velo Nifkada B'Banim. But Sarah never had any children. So that immediately stands out to us that she didn't have children like the original Sarah Imenu. And when she saw, when Yochai saw that many years had passed and he hadn't had a child, so he started to think maybe he should give a get or take on a second wife, which was acceptable back in those days. But he wanted to have a child. It's a mitzvah of the Torah. He's responsible to try to fulfill it. So he considered these two options. So he asked a matchmaker to look for him a modest woman who's appropriate, Aguna Bat Tovin, from a good family and fitting in all characteristics. And after a while, Yochai's wife Sarah found out that Yochai had visited the matchmaker. And you can imagine how pleasant that was for her and for him, that she found out her husband was looking for another wife. And he didn't say anything to her, and she didn't say anything to him. And she instead fasted and gave tzedakah and prayed day after day. And she would pray alone. And she would cry many tears before God with a broken heart, to save her from being divorced. And also that she wouldn't have a second wife always at her side. And how this could happen, of course, was that she herself would become pregnant, and she would have a son. And Hashem heard the cry of her voice. So this story is obviously parallel to the story of Sarah. We see the theme that we've seen throughout Yiddishkeit, that the great women of the past oftentimes did not have children and were forced to pray at extraordinary levels in order to become pregnant. And we know that Rashi tells us that this is because God loves the prayers of the righteous, so he wants them to pray more. But that makes God look a little bit, self-serving, like God wants our prayers or the prayers of the tzaddik, so I'll withhold goodness to the tzaddik in order to get him to pray more. That doesn't sound very righteous, in my opinion. I don't know about what all of you think. It'd be interesting to hear. But rather, we know that when it says that God desires the prayers of the righteous, it's because the prayers of the righteous fix the world. The prayers that God desires are those prayers that go out and touch the rest of humanity. And so when God is withholding giving rewards to these tzaddikim and these tzadkaniyot, these holy men and women, it's not so much that I don't believe it's so much that he needs their prayers, rather like the Arizal describes in Eitz Chaim, that the prayers of the tzaddikim bring down what's called Mayim Nukvim, and they bring down Mayim Dechorim, and they elevate Mayim Nukvim. They activate the processes by which the system of how infinite life becomes finite works. What we call the tree of life, how the energy moves from above to below and from below to above. A tzaddik on this level, every time he prays, he brings God's light into the world. So it's to the benefit of the entire world that Hashem makes these great people pray more, in order that more light is coming into the world for everybody else. Because otherwise, if the tzaddikim aren't doing it, then nobody's doing it. In terms of transferring that infinite light into finite kelim through speech, through Torah, good deeds, etc.